Hey everybody, it's Zach with the Mighty Electron, and some big news broke the other day, I think yesterday, and I wanted to talk about it with you guys, get your opinions on it. So Bollinger Motors just announced that they are suspending production of the B1 and the B2. Those are their one's their SUV, one's their truck, indefinitely, to focus on production of commercial vehicles. Very interesting. So here's where we're at. In case you haven't heard of Bollinger Motors, they were one of the firsts to come out and say, hey, we're making an electric truck. And I think they may have been the first. Again, not the electric vehicle, but an electric truck. If I'm wrong on that, then somebody post in the comments, let me know who was the first. It may have been Atlas. It may have been, I don't know. It was before Tesla, though. And it was certainly before Ford. But it may have been Lordstown. It may have been Atlas. And again, I know that before then, there were people who were making like little fleet truck, like 40-mile range trucks for, utility companies, or on construction sites, service vehicles and things like that. But I'm talking like to the public, we're making a truck and it's going to be electric and it's going to be a legit vehicle. I think Bollinger may have been the first. Fact check me on that. But the story and the thing that I loved about Bollinger, and both didn't like about Bollinger, the thing that I loved about them is they always struck me as some guy, Bollinger, just had a dream, just wanted to build the truck that he wanted to build. And I don't think he cared so much about like what did the population want or what's going to make this sell more or anything. He was like, look, I got a truck in my head and I'm going to build it. And I love that about the guy. I think that's fantastic. That's so respectable. Now, as it progressed though, it became very apparent that the B1 was always going to be a collector's truck, right? There were things like, I don't want to have airbags in my truck, or I don't want to have rolling lines. Everything's going to be very boxy. Everything's going to be riveted together. It was very much going to be a collector's truck. You knew it was never going to go mass market. Now, I think maybe some people did, but I think those people were just flat out wrong. And then the second thing is, when he got close enough to announce price, it was $125,000 for a truck that like doesn't have airbags. I don't even know if it had ABS. I mean, it was pretty. They kind of started to do this dance where their marketing is like, well, it's a farm truck. It's a utility truck for 125 grand. I don't think so. So there are some things where that's kind of where I got into, okay, I know my ultimate goal is an electric truck. Now, whether that's the Tesla or the F-150 or the Rivian, I don't know yet. But ultimate goal is the electric truck. But it became very apparent from the beginning that Bollinger 1 was not going to be for me. And one of the things that they said is from the beginning, they said, look, this isn't technically going to be classified as a highway vehicle. It's going to be road legal, but I forget the classification, but there was something to where they didn't have to have the same safety requirements as like a high production regular vehicle. And my guess is what happened is he started realizing, okay, if I want to make this a truck where your average person can buy it, number one, I don't have the manufacturing ability to manufacture at volume to get that price down below, wow, that sun is bright, to get that price below like $100,000. I mean, these were like handmade trucks by 50 guys somewhere. So number one. And number two, I don't think he had the resources, or I don't know that he had the personality to put up with like all the Department of Highway Safety testing and regulations, and you got to do this and that and jump through all these hoops. I've never met the gentleman, but just kind of based on what I read about him and his different, and the tone of his marketing, that kind of stuff, I think he's kind of a, hey, look, I'm building what I'm building, take it or leave it type guy, which again, part of me really kind of likes. I think his truck's ugly, but I love that attitude. So that's what I think happened. He finally realized that he's not going to win this battle. And so he said, okay, I'm just making commercial vehicles. Because again, I don't think that commercial vehicles have the same safety regulations, you know, like the crumple zones and all that kind of stuff that your regular passenger vehicle has. So very interesting news. That, and I think part of the other reason was, I don't think that guy owns a piece of camera equipment that can shoot in color. Everything he does is black and white. A little pet peeve of mine. It's like, man, I get that your truck is black, but holy smokes, man. Like, enough with the black and white photos. Jeez Louise. Anyway, big news on Bollinger. Let me know what you think. And if you know something that I don't, as far as like why he did this. So more detail, he's going to focus on class 3 through class 6 commercial vehicles. And those classifications are based solely on the weight that the vehicle can carry safely. But again, I think it also has to do with the less safety regulations required for those vehicles. So let me know what you think. Is Bollinger always going to be a collector's vehicle? Is he ever really going to actually produce a vehicle that like is for real commercial use? You know, like he's selling it as a heavy duty delivery vehicle? Or is this just a way for him to get around some regulations? But either way, he's always only going to sell, I mean, literally like less than 100 a year. So I wish the man no ill will. I think that's fantastic. But is he always going to be a small production, hand-built, Jay Leno garage type vehicle? Or is he making a serious play to break into the electric commercial truck industry? Let me know what your thoughts are. Please feel free to like and subscribe, help these videos come, and we'll see you next time.